Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next week, okay?
Oh yeah, I'll get you around, Amelia.
Well, I hope
You will.
so. Live in my home.
Well, that's also very true.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, Miss Faith. Come on in. That was my roommate and patient. Yes, I know it's technically a little bit unethical, but no, I don't he'd be homeless. That's not technically true. He lived in a hut with a foot in it. Anyway. Don't worry, that's not patient confidentiality. He tells everyone about that. Have a seat.
All right. Fantastic.
So, how have you been, Miss Faith?
Um,
I want to start off by saying that I'm very proud of you for scheduling this.
Thanks. I'm fine.
Let me just get a few papers in order and then we'll start.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. There we are. All right.
Okay.
There we are, Miss Faith. All right, I'm all ready for you now. So, let's talk. What's been going on? And I'd like to start off with these meetings that are not court mandated. With asking what made you want to schedule today's meeting.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know, why, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know why.
It just felt right, maybe?
I guess, sure, I mean, honestly, nothing fucking makes sense right now, so there's all that, but,
Lots of chaos at home, I imagine.
yeah, a little bit.
How is Ruby?
She's good, still refuses to sleep unless, she's moving in some form or another, or someone is moving while holding her, or whatever. If she's moving, she might sleep, but otherwise, yeah, she's fine though. Honestly, she's doing well.
Mm-hmm. Are you sleeping well?
Um, a little bit of time I get sleep, sure. I found a local lady that will take her on occasion, and
That's good. Some help at home.
yeah, something like that. And she I guess Ruby's really good for her, which is not surprising. She's a good baby. Like I'm not saying differently. It's just she's
A lot.
a lot. Yeah.
That's understandable. I mean, taking care of an infant on your own is exhaustive work. It can sometimes, for some women, also lead to complicated feelings about the birth, about the pregnancy, and about the baby itself. That's something you'd like to talk about, maybe?
There's nothing complicated about how I feel about her. And it's
What is it that you feel?
I don't know. I lost
Okay.
at the moment. I guess that's the best way to say it.
Lost or loss?
Lost. Well, maybe
Mhm.
both, but mostly lost, I think.
Feeling lost. Okay.
It's just, there were things happening when I was pregnant that, a lot of fucking things happened when I was pregnant, when I didn't even know I was fucking pregnant, but that's a whole other thing, and then other things happened that I thought maybe, maybe we were finally getting somewhere, and I guess not. So, which is fine. We'll be all right. We'll figure it out. It's
Life is a challenge like that, Have to constantly figure out what's going to happen next. What are we going to do next? That sort of chaos makes it hard to sit down and really consider what is it that's going on inside of me? What am I feeling right now? Which is why, again, I think you did the right thing by coming to me and saying that you needed that. Sit down to consider how you're feeling. Feeling lost like you are, can I ask? This is a very direct question that I'm asking because this is, well, I'm a therapist and an OBGYN, so I studied this a bit. Have you been having trouble connecting with Ruby?
no, not at all.
Nothing like that.
No.
Good. Just wanted to ask because it is one of those things that a lot of women find very hard to talk about.
No.
Your child being the thing that's also your entire world revolves around now. That's a different life suddenly to live, isn't it? You have in the past had a baby before, right?
Yeah, I did.
That you gave up.
Yeah.
So Ruby is technically your second child, but that completely depends on, of course, how you consider that first child. Whether or not, you see them as yours, but you gave them up, or if you see them as someone else's. That's, of course, how you consider your life.
Right.
Can I ask, when you say you feel lost, is that because you don't know what to do next, or is it that you don't feel like you're on the right path right now?
I don't know at the moment. Right before she was born, I was staying with a close friend, and during that time, I received a letter from where my husband and I were living and trying to build a homestead. That basically, she went there to find him for me since he wasn't returning any telegrams, and she said in the letter that when she got there, there was nothing at the site we were building on, outside of a few crates of like personal items of mine, some old clothes, things like that, and an envelope that had my wedding certificate in it and his wedding band.
I see.
Which, at that point, I was surprisingly not really surprised. I don't know. I was relieved, honestly, because he and I had been through so much, and it didn't make sense, and I was so worried that something had happened to him, And I had someone here that was, I thought, was offering more than that to me and by extension the baby, because Ruby hadn't quite been born yet. And we were staying with him, and he was in the process of finalizing some things with his life. when she was born, he came rushing to where we were. I was resting at the parlor house, and I guess I fell asleep, and they turned him away, and he still waited nearby as best he was able to. He had to work. So he was between Saint Denis and I think a couple other places. But he always kept coming back to check. So when I woke up, I met up with him, and he was so happy to see us. So excited to see us. And to meet her. And he was a little goofy. You know, he ended up breaking the wagon down on our way to back to Valentine. So we ended up having to walk. And we were talking the whole time. And he stopped and he looked at me and he said, "Faith, I need you to look me in the face." And I did. And he said, "Do you love me?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And he asked me like 3 more times in the space of like 15 minutes. And he told me that he loved me, and it felt like everything was falling into place like right then. It was, I don't know, it was like I was coming home for the first time in a long fucking time.
That's a drastic change from what then happened, no?
It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't my husband, it was someone else. It was my ex-husband. Obviously, if he left the
Oh, I'm sorry.
behind. No,
I confused the two.
no, it's fine. It's
So
confusing.
your ex-husband was the one who is he Ruby's father?
My ex-husband is, yes.
Oh, I see. And then this man, he is the one who you got remarried to?
No.
No, okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I misunderstood.
No,
Who is he?
no. It's
It's a woman?
No.
Who is it?
Might have been fucking easier, honestly. How?
You mentioned someone had died, right?
That was a while ago. It was
Okay.
quite a few people had died. A lot of
Yes.
fucking people had died.
Yes, a lot of people died recently, haven't they? It's been a lot.
But how
Hmm?
How? You asked who it was. I don't.
If you are worried about getting in trouble or them getting in trouble, the only way anything I say or you say here leaves this room is through a court-mandated warrant.
No, there wouldn't be a warrant for this. It's just. I don't think there'd be a warrant for this. I'd be shocked if there was, but. It's coats.
Like martial coats.
Yeah.
Oh. Why?
He and Hazel were in the process of getting a divorce. He told
I
me it was
see.
almost final. And I still have keys to their house. I had permission from Hazel to live in their house because apparently she was okay with me living there after the fact. After he apparently told her I was staying there. And so, a couple of days from when Ruby was born, we were planning a life. Me and him. He asked me on the walk if I ever thought she would call him Daddy. And if... I fell asleep. with her next to me in the bed, and him holding me.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt fucking perfect. That was the last time I slept decently, honestly. He might have even got up with her a couple times. I don't know. I remember pretty much sleeping through almost that whole night. It felt like. Sorry.
It's all right.
The next morning, he wasn't there, which is normal. He's got to work. So I was, just wandering with Ruby and everything, and I went to check telegrams, and I had a telegram from him stating that we needed to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I told him I would meet with him. Just let me know where. And we ended up running into each other at the telegram station in Valentine. And he kind of smiled at me, and we small talked. And he's like, well, come walk with me. So I did. I followed him up to a spot that was special to both of us. Or I thought it was. It was where the first time he asked if he could kiss me.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, well, I didn't really say no, but he was married, I was married. It didn't feel right, so
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of brushed it off, and he took the hint, and that was fine. And there he told me that he had had a minute to think, and that I had been through too much, and that he has responsibility to the state of Monroe,
Mm-hmm.
and that he knew that the job would kill him,
I see.
and he didn't want that for me to have to deal with that.
In the end, he ended up making a choice that hurt you, but he did it wanting to protect you. Do you still speak to him?
It's hard, but I'm trying to get us back to at least being friends like we were. It's just really fucking hard.
Mm. How has he been handling it when he speaks and talks to you? Has he...
Like there's nothing there. Like there was nothing ever there.
He moved on, so to speak.
The last time I talked to him in person, it was in Valentine again.
Mm-hmm.
He had just sent me a telegram saying, yeah, we need to talk. And so I walked out with him behind the telegram station in Valentine, over by the water tower. There, that's right there by the train tracks. And we talked. And he told me then that he and Hazel decided not to divorce. They're not selling the house. And that it's essentially in name only. Because he has no interest in a relationship with her either, but she's determined to hold on to it for whatever reason. And he told me he understood to a degree how I felt. And then he pulled out his revolver and offered it to me and told me to kill him.
Oh.
Man, I fucking...
I understand.
I...
You know, if I may say this, I almost became an LSO secretary. Well, I was one, and I almost became a marshal secretary. And my God, Faith, if I may tell you, one of the reasons I wanted to do that job is because I knew that half the marshals, they don't deal with their emotions, they don't deal with their traumas, they don't deal with their problems they have. They just, to them, it's all about kill or be killed, if I may say so. And I think in that moment when he was giving you that choice, I think maybe Coates was hoping to give you peace by allowing you to punish him, you know? But of course,
begged
we
me.
as women,
He fucking begged me. It wasn't just like a here, you know, get
Mhm.
your... He begged me to kill him
You think
so that those that want to hurt him wouldn't have the opportunity. He would
Mhm.
rather know that it was someone he cared about than...
Mm. It must have felt very bizarre, right? Both be put in such an awful position, really, by someone you love. I'm sorry to say.
I still do.
Exactly.
I should... I have my best friend telling me I should hate him. And I can't. I fucking can't.
Hating someone so quickly is usually very, very difficult. They have to really wrong you. Even women whose husbands have been unfaithful, they find themselves unable to hate them. Love is a very strong emotion, and holding on to it is a very common thing. And I don't think you need to hate him for you to process what has happened. I think you need time, and I think you need to remember that in the end, how do I say this? Well, it's a good thing that he realized that a life with him might have been wrong for you before anything went wrong. It's a, if you ask me, it is a sorry excuse, so to say. You know, I can only say that what he did with the right intentions. He could have handled it differently, yes, but maybe that will bring you some comfort, no?
I don't know.
Do you have friends who you talk to this about, if I may ask?
I really only have one friend. And yeah, she knows everything. Everything. She suspected before I even told her, but she hates him so much. She wants to go to Hazel. I begged her not to. I don't think she will, but
Does Miss Hazel know anything at all about what has happened?
no, not to my knowledge. He said she doesn't. It almost sounds like he's afraid of her finding out, even though they were separated, divorcing.
May I bring a different perspective to this then, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
This man who almost started a relationship with you while still married to someone else? What he did with you is something he should have told his wife, no? Would you, if you were in her situation, would you not rather have heard about it, right? I'm not trying to say that you have to tell her. I'm trying to put into perspective what he has done, you know? Because it is, at the end of the day, his actions. I mean, you were pregnant or newly a mother. You were in a vulnerable state. Not to say that he wasn't, darling, but I think it's very important that you remember here that I think this relationship, had it come to fruition, could have potentially put you in a ruinous place, you know? Sometimes not being loved by the people we love can actually save us a little bit. At least in my experience. That doesn't mean it hurts any less. Especially when we know that the only reasons they didn't return or couldn't commit or whatever is because they are putting themselves in danger or putting themselves through misery. I imagine that all of this hasn't made the stress of being a new mother and handling all the other things that have happened in your life very easy. No, of course. Are you spending a lot of time outdoors?
I'm pretty much right now. I've spent the last week and a half or so over in Libertalia, actually,
Mm-hmm.
which is ironic considering how much I hate that place. But I can't be here in Monroe. I can't. I don't know.
Okay. Are you sleeping somewhere safe though?
Yeah, for the most
Okay.
part.
Just making sure.
Yeah, we're safe. That's
I'll say that even though you aren't a big fan of Libertalia, if staying there brings you peace of mind from being away from Monroe's and all Monroe's plenty of troubles, then I think that's a good idea. And I would encourage you to keep staying there.
one of the main reason I fucking hate that place is I was in the process of adopting a little girl back in October, November, and she was impulsive, exceptionally impulsive, and I think that's why I loved her so much. And my husband and I were going to adopt her, and
Mm-hmm.
she ran afoul of some very popular or powerful people here in Saint Denis, and she ran and hid on Libertalia. The pirates came to tell me that she was safe, and so I took it upon myself to make my way there. And I saw her one last time. And it was a nice visit. Right before I left, we sat on the rock and watched the parrots, and she told me that one thing she wants to do before she ever leaves Libertalia was to catch a parrot and tame it and make it hers. And if anyone was going to do it, it was going to be her, you know? So I hugged her, told her I loved her, and she said, Mom, don't worry about me. I'll be okay. I've got my family here too. And I had them. They promised me she would be safe there.
Mm-hmm.
2 days later, Honora Rose walks into the Tipsy Gypsy with her hat in her hand, fake fucking tears in her eyes, passing on her condolences for the death of my daughter. So of course I ran to Libertalia wanting to know what the fuck happened, and Alexander Drake, the great fucking king, was there. And he informed me that I knew nothing about my daughter, that she had tricked us all, and she was a conniving little girl. She's fucking 13. 13 fucking years old. They had basically handed her over to DeLuca and his fucking family to slaughter her.
I see. Has that made it harder to stay there, I imagine? I mean, are you able to stay away from all of these people who did these things?
Most of them are dead, from my understanding. I recently ran into the one who came to the gypsy before, and he and I talked for a moment. His name is Buddy. Sweet little man. Literally, I don't know, the grandfather I always wish I had, you know. And
Yes, I have someone similar like that.
he told me that he was still heartbroken over what happened, and that he was still really sorry. And I had heard previously that, you know, when the orders are given from the king or the queen, they don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Maria and Alexander are both dead. And I don't know who else was there when they handed Eli over. But I hope they are dead too.
Mm-hmm.
Going there, I don't know, I was prepared to hate it, but I didn't know where else to go at that point. Can't exactly take a newborn up to you know, Amberino. Or, I mean, I guess I could have taken her out to New Austin, but it's a little dangerous out there as well. I had people that I used to know that were hiding out that way, and last thing I wanted to do was run into them. So, Libertalia seemed like the smarter option. Yeah. I am. I don't know. I guess it seemed like the best option, and it was a. I don't know. It seemed like something I needed to do.
safe out there, and I'll see you next week, okay?
Oh yeah, I'll get you around, mate.
Well, I hope
You will.
so. Live in my home.
Well, that's also very true.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, Miss Faith. Come on in. That was my roommate and patient. Yes, I know it's technically a little bit unethical, but no, I'll keep you homeless. That's not
Right.
technically true. He lived in a hut with a foot in it. Anyway. Don't worry, that's not patient confidentiality. He tells everyone about that. Have a seat.
All right. Fantastic.
So, stay safe out there, and I'll see you next week, okay?
Oh yeah, I'll get you around. That's
All right, take the out by saying that I'm very of these meetings.
Sure. I mean, there's nothing fucking makes sense right now, so there's all that, but
Lots of chaos at home, I imagine.
yeah, a little bit.
How is Ruby?
She's good. Still refuses to sleep unless, she's moving in some form or another. Yeah, you're fine.
Perfect. Wolf down from food quickly.
No, it's just fine.
Feel free to have a seat again if you want.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, there we